Who's your number 3 running back in the 2023 NFL draft, John?
All right. Well, like I just said, there's a lot of people that could be in this spot. I feel like even similar to last year's class, it feels like there's kind of 2 consistent options you'll see at the top, but after that, a lot of things change. Hold on, give me 1 sec. I'm trying to pull up the combine results so I can make sure I got all my stuff correct here. Okay, so my number 3 is going to be Zach Charbonnet from UCLA. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I might be wrong on that. But Zach Charbonnet from UCLA, he feels like one of those running backs that, once again, 2nd, 3rd round pick, kind of a set it, forget it, whatever team drafts him. I think whether he comes in right away and as a starter or, maybe he shares time with somebody else, he feels like a pretty easy, all right, he's going to have a pretty successful NFL career. I don't think that he necessarily has superstar ceiling, but I do think that he's a really solid running back. He weighs about 215, so he's got the size. He's about 6 foot, so ideal height for a running back. He ran a 4.5 340, so pretty average in terms of starting caliber running back 40 time. Not going to be lightning fast, but it's still pretty good, especially for someone who weighs 215. So yeah, he's a pretty solid running back. I think that last year, specifically in college at UCLA, he really improved his stock. But yeah, overall, I think for me, he is my number 3 running back. There was quite a few names that I really tossed and turned about of who do I want to put here. But ultimately, I felt for my number 3, I'm going to go with someone who I feel safe on is going to be a good starting caliber NFL running back, and that is Zach Charbonnet for me. So that is my number 3. What about you?
All right, so we officially need to, I don't know, we need to stop hanging out or something because I get a bad feeling this is going to be the same.
This would happen.
He is also my number 3. Spoiler, in case you haven't read the context clues or you're not watching on YouTube, you didn't see my reaction as John said Zach Charbonnet. But he is my number 3 as well. North to south runner, as you mentioned. He's not, which is I think of him kind of like an AJ Dillon light. Definitely not as rocked up as AJ Dillon, not the physical runner as he is, but more north to south, and definitely a better pass catcher. You mentioned he improves his stock his senior year. That was a big weakness of his at Michigan, and I'm guessing that's something he worked on because it was definitely better at UCLA, because he did transfer. He's not going to shake people out of their boots and such. And even for a north to south runner, not going to break a lot of tackles, but he is hard to get down, and he definitely is going to be more of a one cut kind of guy. Sees the hole, puts his foot down, goes. So like you mentioned, could be a main bell cow, maybe a complimentary back at first. But yeah, I had him kind of 2nd, 3rd roundish, probably more 3rd. But who knows with the draft. And then in terms of just a few other things he needs to work on, or weaknesses. Obviously, I mentioned not agile, not going to shake people out of their boots. So not put behind a great offensive line that creates holes. He really can't do much himself to make big plays. And then didn't get to see much pass protection. I know that's one of the tough things to see, to kind of evaluate for us at least, but coming out of college too. But it's because you don't know how much what they taught him or how much they asked him to do so. But whenever he was put in pass protection, wasn't great. But as you kind of alluded to, he's a great physical specimen. So I think it's just something that could be worked on, could be coached. And we've seen that he can work on these things because he worked on his pass catching, which is now a plus for him. But yeah, no elite speed, elite agility, but just can be a really good back for people. Kind of like a D'Onta Foreman, kind of has been, I feel. But